Hello, everyone. I'm Sarah,
David Prescott.
and welcome to 1213 Prescott Way. We hope you're going to have a great day. We have a lot of food that we are anxious to eat.
Whoa.
So, what are we eating?
I see some scrumptious, delumptious salmon patties, baked, little small pieces of potato. Look, they're coated with some kind of delicious coating. Eggs and cheese. This is like a
French toast.
French toast, but I'm not going to put any syrup
Yeah.
on it. I don't think so.
And then I
my
have
drink right now.
toast. I just have regular toast. And like you said, we have baked potatoes, seasoned baked potatoes, and the salmon. And I'm ready to throw down. And I remembered my hot sauce.
I may say my blessing.
Yes. And we have
Alright.
juice to wash it all down.
That's for sure. Mm-hmm.
So today is Saturday, the day before the Super Bowl. Are you guys planning on watching it?
Without millions. People, matter of fact, people who don't watch football, they will watch the Super Bowl.
You guys can have the first bite. You want the salmon or the potatoes? And you can have a bite of toast. David said he can have some of his eggs and his French toast.
It's like a flying saucer.
Damn, your plate is hot. I think I want some ketchup this time. Oh, I was gonna say, where's my fork? Okay. These are good. I'm not gonna need any ketchup.
Yeah, speaking about the Super Bowl, last year,
This one
a friend of mine mentioned to me about who was going to win the Super Bowl. Not saying that he knows the answer to 100%, but for what he had said and the team that he had picked, they did win. They made it look good. It made it seem like they weren't going to win, but at the last moment, everything balanced out mathematically. And this year, if I can run to that same guy and he can relate to me the same thought, I'm going to do some betting.
Who was it?
I can't remember who told me that. That's what's tripping me out. I mean, remember I was talking about that boxing match.
The table isn't close enough. It's too far.
That boxing match that never happened, but yet I saw it on TV.
Oh, the. That's good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say who it is because it's crazy, but
You know the names?
mm-hmm.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Take a bite.
You teasing them people.
Salmon is delicious. They're taking a bite.
Oh, okay.
Right? You guys can taste it. Try potato with the ketchup.
I don't think I need ketchup now. I think so. Because I don't think I need
It's
ketchup.
good,
now.
huh?
I don't even need no ketchup.
I know. I usually don't put ketchup, and he does. And now I have the ketchup, and he doesn't want any.
It's just seasoned perfectly.
That's why I never put ketchup. But I
Oh.
cut these more like French fry kind of,
Mm-hmm.
thicker than I normally do. So I'm like, ketchup.
I see. I usually put ketchup on, even just seasoned grade. If I have a really taste for some, but now I thought I had a taste for ketchup. Now I don't.
That's good. Salmon patties are delicious.
Well, so something else.
So,
Mm.
David's shocking me not putting, you can't see your face when you're eating because your head is down. And
Oh, I'm looking at my food.
I know, I'm just saying what you're having.
Yeah, when I talk, I lift my head up.
Wow, what else? And I can taste the onion and bell pepper in the salmon. This is brunch for us. Do you know, last night, oh yeah, because I fell asleep on the couch.
Yeah, hours.
And then when we, I was tired. And then when we went to bed, it was almost 2.
Right.
And you know, I didn't go to sleep till after 6.
Well, what did you do? Just what? Listen to your
I was editing a video, the one I've been trying to post.
You got lots of rest on the couch.
4 hours, not even. Yeah, about 4 hours. But shoot, I did get a lot of sleep. No, I never got sleepy. But I went to sleep earlier than I wanted to. Or longer than I wanted to, I should say. But when I opened my eyes, I couldn't keep them open.
Really?
I think that was about midnight. I saw it, I was like, shit, you still sleeping.
I only remember you open your eyes one time. I was watching movies.
When you were sitting up. Because when I went to sleep, my legs were on you. And then when you were sitting up, my legs were behind you. And that woke me up. I normally eat my patties in a sandwich, but they're delicious without it.
I remember I was telling you, when those professional eaters be eating tons of food, and when they drink water with their food, it's like it makes me psychologically fuller. If they eat and drink something sweet with it, then I'm all right. I don't understand that. That's crazy.
I know. To me, it would be the opposite. If you drink something sweet, it would make you full.
It's perfect, man. It's just like to drink water with this. Now, if I had some sweetness on here, the water's cool. But just water with it. If I had no choice, that's another story.
Well, you don't have a choice.
Oh, I got a choice.
No choices. You guys ever had to learn something through not your own experience, but by seeing it through somebody else when you know you shouldn't be doing something? Like, I'll use that as an example, speeding. Well, not just speeding, tailgating. You know what I mean? Like while you're speeding. And so I would, like when I'd go from Las Vegas to California, I'd always do at least 90, you know, going. And never thought about, you know, if somebody switched lanes, put on their brakes or anything like that, because that never happened. So one time we were taking a bus trip with the SGI Buddhist organization that I used to belong to. And my sister and I, we were on the bus, and we were we were in the far left lane. There were 2 lanes. We were in the left lane, and you know, of course, the bus was going, you know, 60 miles an hour, and there was a car behind us. It was like on our butt, you know, wanting to get around. It was a sports car.
Wasn't it a Corvette?
I think so, something like that. And so I looked, because you can hear it rev its engine, and then it goes zoomed right around us to the to the right. And it didn't see, because we're a bus, it didn't see that there was a vehicle that was pulled over on the shoulder that was just starting to get back into traffic, and it had gotten back on, it started slowly because you know how you have to rev up speed to get back on. And this Corvette or sports car was going at least 100.
Wow.
And so when it zoomed around us, it didn't have time to stop, when that car was getting back onto the freeway, and it slammed on its brakes and swerved to the right, and then it just started flipping in the desert. And I was like, I was so freaking shocked.
Wow.
That, it never dawned on me that could happen.
Did you say that was convertible too?
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's even worse.
And the driver lived, and the passenger died.
That's so
We
amazing,
stopped, we pulled over, and they airlifted them out, but the driver was dead. The passenger was dead on the scene. And that was so devastating, and so it just made me be more cautious. I started doing between 75 and 80 on the freeway going to California, and not just and not taken for granted, because you don't know what's on either side of this big vehicle in front of you. But I'm always one, I may drive fast, but I do like to see hundreds of feet in front of me. So I never go behind a bus, a truck, or even a van. I don't care what it is. I have to be able to see far ahead in order to know what to make my maneuvers, to know what I'm going to do, in case something happens. But that was a real eye-opener there.
Yeah, safety. That's crazy. And it seemed like the passenger always seems to be the one to die.
Yeah.
I remember one night, a friend of mine, he had been drinking that night, and but he wanted me to ride with him. It was a lot of snow out there too. Ride with him. It was must have been about like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't know, man. No.
You said no?
Yeah, I said no. He said, "No, man, come on, Dave, man, come on, ride." I said, "No."
You didn't want to ride with him? Why? Because he
was because he was drinking, and then I just in case something happened, And I started thinking about it seemed like it's always seemed the passenger, That night,
well,
I found out.
it.
The next day he had an accident. He confounded he had an accident. Totaled his car and everything. And he was all he was all right.
Oh, okay.
He said, "Dave, I told him." I said, "See, man,
you would have died
9 times out of 10,
or been severely injured." I remember this one case we had. This one guy, I never heard of this before. He was a lone driver. He was on his way to Vegas on a trip. Because he was on a business trip, so he was driving to Vegas.
What was he driving, like a car?
He had rented a vehicle, and he had a 1-car accident. The vehicle rolled. Don't know what happened, and he ended up, when he was in the hospital, he ended up having, trying to remember, he became blind.
Well,
I'm like, I don't know, I don't remember how that, I couldn't relate being blind to being in a car accident, but that's what happened. He was blind and paralyzed from that accident.
I'm trying to figure out what caused
I know,
blindness.
I can't, I think it had something, I don't know, maybe being in the hospital, oxygen to the brain, I don't know. I have no idea, but I was like, wow, what a thing. And to top it off, he said he was going on a business trip. He was using the expense as a business trip, but he was going for pleasure. It was personal, actually. You know what I mean? So I was like, dang, see what happens when you don't, to be truthful. I'm not saying, that to me, that's like if you're just there being, you know what I mean?
You knew this person?
No, it was a case we had at work.
I thought you said dude was getting ready to cheat on you or something. I thought if you knew him, I thought he was going to cheat on you.
Why? Because that's what you would do?
No, because he was going with you.
No, because that's what you would do. That's
no,
that's the person you talking about.
I've been on many trips. So what you
I'm
say?
talking about lying about going on a business trip, and it was for
You
pleasure.
see that on TV all the time. They all talking
But
about
he lied so that he can use it, so he didn't have to pay for it.
Oh.
He used it for his business expenses.
Mm-hmm.
And have no idea why he skidded. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then went.
Remember I was telling you about this little small truck.
Lie always comes out. They say do something in the dark. It always comes out in the light. What are you gonna say?
I forgot. I can't remember now.
Stop lying. I can tell.
Okay. This little truck. We're stopped at the intersection. And there's cars on the other side stop at the intersection four-way. And because we're stopped there because it's a red light. And the other cars are able to go, on the green light. This truck flies between us, passes around us, and hits this other car that almost made it, loaded with elderly black people. Hit the front of the car, boom, and the truck started bouncing. Bam, bam, up in the trees.
And did anything happen to the elderly people?
He flew. He didn't have a seatbelt on. He flew out the car. He died. But the people, they were traumatized pretty much, because they were really shaken up.
Oh, but they were okay.
They were okay.
That's good. I mean, sad for him.
Right.
So,
But why, we got a red light, ain't gonna go around.
probably drunk.
And or was someone chasing them or something?
Shoot, on my way to work one time, it was, in Vegas when it's raining, you better not drive, but if you have to, be very cautious because, it doesn't rain often, and the oil on the road, when it rains, it makes it slick.
Right.
So I was driving down Maryland, and Maryland's only 35 miles an hour. So, and this car, it was a big, I think I told you, a big blue sedan, and it flew past me, and it's pouring rain. I'm looking at, I'm like, look at this fool. I said, he wants to get into a car accident. And sure enough, as I passed Sahara, he's wrapped around the pole. His car's wrapped around the pole. Yeah, it didn't look that bad. But his car was messed up. I was like, see? I'm like trying to kill people.
Every day, if there's a car accident, or cars have an accident. I'm driving. I mean, I don't want to have an accident, but I'm constantly now where I drive. I never drove like this before. I'm looking out for a car in case they fall asleep on the way. They coming this way, and if they start coming, I'm trying to get out their way.
I remember one time I was on, what is that? I can't even shoot. 15 in Vegas going south. Get past, like how you get past the Sahara on-ramp. This is the old before they redid it.
Right.
And you get on this, where they would get on. I passed that, and then how you're getting ready to go around the curve on the freeway.
Right.
I go around the curve. There's this car facing me, stopped in the middle of the street, in the middle lane.
He's going the wrong way.
It wasn't moving. It was just sitting there.
But I'm saying he'd been going the wrong way.
I don't know. They would have turned around and started going the opposite direction because there were no cars out there. That was a good thing.
Wow.
I was the only car coming that way.
Wow.
I don't know what time it was. It was daylight because I can remember seeing the car. So
maybe Saturday there, so
and probably a weekend or something.
Somebody have an accident.
But I was like, what the hell? As I'm driving, I just went around it and was looking like, what the heck is going on? You just see some weird stuff.
Well, the most important thing, is to live and tell the tale. Getting out of food now. This is my second helping.
I'm getting full already.
The drink goes perfect with it.
But I was careless as well in my younger days. You know, I guess because I was very, my parents sheltered us when we were young, so we didn't see. When I was 12 years old, I don't know what it was. I used to love beer, the taste of it. And back then, you remember the cords, the cores, it had that like peel top.
Mm.
And so I'd go in the refrigerator, and once I heard the pop, I'd suck some down and put it back. It was my dad's. And the funny thing is he never said anything. He knew it was me. Out of the 4 children at the house, he knew it was his 12-year-old daughter. And when my mom, she would have a beer, and she'd be laying on the couch watching TV, and so I'd be sitting on the love seat, my dad would be sitting in his chair, and we'd be watching TV, and I'd be staring at her, I'd be watching TV, and I'd look at her here and watch TV, and then I'd look at my dad, because then she'd fall asleep, and I'd look at my dad, he'd go like this.
So
I'd grab her beer.
So he was trying to help your addiction.
Right.
Your addiction.
Well, yeah.
Oh!
And because my mom, she said, "You gonna turn that girl into an alcoholic." So what you trying to say?
So I use the right word.
I'm a recovering alcoholic. Just joking. I'm not.
But what's so funny though?
But
your dad said.
I know.
That's
I
amazing.
Know. He would give me anything I wanted, even beer. All I had to do was ask him.
Daddy, little girl.
My sister used to, my sister's brothers, they'd come, Sarah, ask Daddy if we can have this. Ask Daddy. So I'd go in there, Daddy, can we have blah, blah, blah? And sure enough, okay.
Daddy's little girl.
But, so I was saying all that to say, I forgot.
But it still was cool.
Oh, about the note that we were raised, not seeing any kind of trauma and stuff like that. Like Good Times, I thought that was just a TV show. I did not realize there was an actual ghetto. I did not know this. I know it sounds crazy, but I didn't know that existed. I just thought that was just TV. People acting, and because you just go based on your own surroundings, your own experience, especially when you're a child. So when I became an adult, I was like, wow. When I got my first apartment, because I had moved from Sacramento back to Las Vegas. And when I got my first apartment, I was like, when I'd go out with my friends, I'd be like, oh my gosh, it's all midnight. I better hurry and get home. And I'm 22. And I was like, wait a minute. I said, I don't have to answer to anyone. It took me a while to get deprogrammed. And so then, I remember she was 14 years old. That's how I knew. I think I was like 17. And I was like, what?
14. I wonder how old the guy was.
Don't know. Don't give a damn.
No, you do. You care. You do care.
I'm going to cut that out.
No, don't cut it out. Don't cut it out. You said it.
But anyway, you guys, thank you for joining us. We just wanted to have our brunch with you. We were like, since we're going to eat, we might as well eat with the family.
I was going to say about, remember that I had a teacher, our teacher, and we had triplets in our class.
Really?
But the two of them looked the same, but the other one was a little different. He had
a beard?
No.
Mustache?
Matter of fact, no, it wasn't a triplet, excuse me. It wasn't that one. It was about Johnny. Johnny was maybe about 6 or 7 months younger than me. It seemed like I was older than anybody in the class, seemed like for some reason, I don't know, like months, not a year. But anyway, to make a long story short, the teacher had asked Johnny, said, Johnny, who wrote the Declaration of Independence? And everybody else raised their hand. What? Why are you laughing? He said, everybody was tripping. He said, I don't know, teacher, and I don't give a damn. Everybody was like,
is that for real?
Yes. So everybody like, what the heck? So she asked him again, he said, I don't know, teacher, and I don't give a damn. And everybody was like, So we all
You guys weren't laughing?
you
guys
laughing and tripping at the same
shocked.
time. So we had there are certain days that your parents come up there. We had met his mother, you know, and she like had a like scarf on her head and you know the chewing snuff and all that. So she still came up there, you know. But anyway, so the teacher says, "I'm gonna tell your mother." And so when she come up here, we're gonna bring her up here, and now I'm gonna ask that question in front of you, in front of your mother. So maybe 2 or 3 days later, the mother comes up there. You laughing? Now your mother's here. Said, "Johnny, who wrote the Declaration of Independence?" And she jumped up with a snuff in her mouth. Boy, if you wrote that thing, you better say you did.
I knew you. I knew it.
That's crazy, man. Hey, see ya.
You guys have a good rest of your day, and we look forward to talking with you on Super Bowl after the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, we got a nice surprise for that, don't we, babe?
Yes.
We got
And
a
you guys
nice
will
surprise.
see it tomorrow.
A nice surprise. Oh yeah.
Have a good one. Bye.
The food was delicious.